Cub fans, just between you and I, how many times have you heard this over the years? Freshman boss Tom Ricketts of the Chicago National League Ball Club saying, our goal is to win the World Series. Now, I could talk about Ricketts and his very tepid vote of confidence for General Manager Jim Hendry, but you, Sweet Lou Piniella, the pride and joy of Tampa, Florida, you are obviously the man of the hour. I do not believe for a minute that Lou Piniella has managed his last ball game. As we speak right now, Lou is sitting at roughly 1,830 career victories. He yearns to win 2,000 ball games, which would put him in very, very elite company. Lou will take a year off. He'll come back. He'll close out this year with about 1,860 wins with the Cubs. He'll come back needing about 140 to reach 2,000. Now, that being said, if you're the Cubs, here is the one guy you do not hire. Number 23, Ryne Sandberg. Yes, he's done well as a minor league manager. Yes, he's a baseball Hall of Famer. But right now with the ball club, as functionally dysfunctional as this Cub team is, Ryne Sandberg is not prepared to be a major league manager. If you want to, bring him up as a coach. That would be an outstanding move on the part of Ricketts, Hendry, and baseball nitwit Crane Kenny. But Ryne Sandberg is not the right guy to manage the Chicago Cubs. For openers, you have to deal with the press before the ball game and after the ball game. Sandberg doesn't have the patience to deal with those kind of double-dip routines. And by the way, no one has ever suggested that Ryne Sandberg is a quote machine. All right, pop culture time. Here we go. One of my favorite all-time movies, The Brilliance of Edward Norton, playing Les Warren Murphy. The brilliance of Matt Damon as Michael Montgomery, along with John Malkovich as the Russian card-playing czar, Teddy KGB, and the very underrated John Turturro as New York legend Joey Knish. Do yourself a favor. Go to Blockbuster, rent a copy of Rounders, or hop onto Amazon, buy a copy of Rounders. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Above and beyond poker, you're going to love the relationship, the friendship, the friction between Damon and Norton, and you are going to absolutely be stunned by the climactic card game between Damon and John Malkovich. This is a movie, 5 stars, right off the top. Rounders, my pick hit of the week. Down in Alabama, it seems that Jamarcus Russell has a few problems. Number one, released by the Oakland Raiders. Here is a guy who was chosen number one overall in the 2007 draft. Al Davis, the Maverick, he's got to be shaking his head right now and dancing on the ceiling. Nobody wants Jamarcus Russell. He's going to have to wait for quarterbacks to fall down like bowling pins before some team finally hires him as a backup. On top of that, Jamarcus has a minor problem. Seems the gendarmes down in Alabama busted his crib and found him in violation with illegal supplements of codeine in his home. He's out right now on $2,500 bond. Class act, Jimmy Collins. Too often under the radar. Longtime head basketball coach of the Illinois Flames. You know what? Here is a guy who was never given the time of day by his administration. I swear his recruiting budget couldn't have been more than about $15 a month. Nevertheless, Collins found a way to take 3 UIC ball clubs to the NC2A tournament, another team to the NIT. I remember when Jimmy was a first-round draft pick by the Bulls. Way back in 1971, I remember him sidekicking on the bench with Lou Henson down in Champaign-Urbana. In between, he had a stint as a probation violations officer. What does that mean? He went out to serve notices to the Black Peastone Nation, the Gangsters' Disciples, and other guys that, you know, your proper girls wouldn't take home to mama. Tough work, you better believe it. He carried the piece in the shoulder harness. He also carried a piece in his cowboy boots. What the hell are you going to do? You're going to walk out and deal with these guys using a ping pong racket, for heaven's sakes? Meanwhile, this is really depressing. This is depressing for people who are up in years, and this is depressing for people who are in their 30s, for heaven's sakes. A poll taken by Gallup in USA Today indicates that most people on Social Security right now do not believe that their benefits are going to last, that their benefits will be chapped. Now, do you want more? 60% of people who are on the cusp right now, who are eventually going to be eligible for Social Security, don't believe there will be any Social Security whatsoever. And you want to know why this country is pissed off, for heaven's sakes? Meanwhile, trouble in Troy. Things are so bad that USC has actually given back the Heisman Trophy won by Reggie Bush. You're aware of the NC2A, its investigation of Pete Carroll's football program. the issues involving Reggie Bush, the investigation of the USC basketball problems, involving in particular O.J. Mayo. Hey, USC had to find a scapegoat. Who cares if this guy won the Heisman Trophy? Who cares if this guy has been our AD for 17 years? Troy fires Mike Garrett. Who do they replace him with? You talk about irony. Former USC quarterback Pat Hayden, who is best known to younger people today as the color announcer on Notre Dame football. I remember Hayden back in 1974 when he engineered one of the great football comebacks of all time with a big booster shot from Anthony Davis, when USC was down by a bundle at halftime against the Fighting Irish and came back to beat Ara Parsegian and Notre Dame with a 49-point second half, 55-24. All right, fat guys shouldn't be dancing at halftime. My best-selling book. Let's move over to chapter 41, talk about steroids and the baseball subculture. Please, don't tell me you're naive enough to believe that steroids still aren't part of Major League Baseball, because there are. There are designers here, there are designers in third world countries, there are designers in Costa Rica who are still capable of creating steroids and various forms of illegal supplements that cannot be detected by testing available right now to Major League Baseball. It's always going to be that way. You know what? And if a Major League club owner tells you, I really worry about my guy being on steroids, he's running a con. What he's worried about is his guy getting caught on steroids. I recall vividly a club owner telling me a few years ago, you know what, I don't know what my guy was on, but I wish to hell he'd get back on the same juice he was before, because right now he is killing us. All right, who doesn't recall the brilliance of 1985? The Bears won a Super Bowl, and the fabulous Pet Shop Boys, with their great techno-pop British sound of opportunities. Let's make lots of money. Hey, meanwhile, log into my Check Coppock public figure page on Facebook. Let me know what you like about the show. Let me know what you don't like about the show, what you want to see. Send me your questions. Hey, on Friday, we are going to read questions on the show. Your name might be right up here on the Daily Coppock. You know what? It's a cheesy song, but it's kind of catchy. Just give it a good listen, all right? Catch you tomorrow with the Daily Coppock. So long, everybody.